in 2021, before the war in Ukraine, you said that the European Commission rightly states that the admission of Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Northern Macedonia, Montenegro and Serbia to the EU is a geostrategic investment in peace, security and economic growth throughout Europe. Now, this was before the war broke out. So now we see that Moldova, Ukraine and Georgia are making progress, while Kosovo and Bosnia are still out in the cold. And as you said, there's that spot of the Western Balkans, which is surrounded by the EU. It's still left out. Others are making progress at a snail's pace. Nothing much has changed in 3 years, really. How do you see this panning out? And also, can you talk a bit about Moldova, Ukraine and Georgia and their EU aspirations as well?
I mean, if we're talking about the enlargement as a question on how to deal with our security, then I think, of course, these countries have a tremendous importance, and I'm very happy with the steps that have been taken in question of Ukraine, for example, in questions of the enlargement, of the beginning of the enlargement process, accession process. I'm very happy about the talks that are happening with Georgia. But then again, one point comes up that we have been talking about, which is the question of, is there enough capacity in the European Union to deal with all of that and deal with accession questions of the Western Balkans? And that's where I absolutely am of the opinion that this capacity is there. And if it's not there, then we have to create it, and we have to create it fast, because it is our absolute foremost interest to create an area of security, an area of stability. And for that, we need definitely the Southeast Europe, we need the Western Balkans, but we do also need those parts and those countries that happen to have an unfortunate conflict with Russia. And I'm not only talking about Ukraine, I'm also talking about Georgia, an unfortunate neighborhood in this case. And we have to help them, we have to support them, because we want them as part of Europe. So I really think it's not just saying the capacity is not there is just a lame excuse, nothing else.
But do you think the progression of these three countries, Moldova, Ukraine and Georgia, it could potentially upset the Western Balkans, who've been waiting very, very, very long time, and they're seeing these three countries sort of ready to leapfrog them? Is this not opening another potential can of worms?
I really hope it is not. I mean, as I said, we have to constantly emphasize that the security questions is one of the most important elements that we have to deal with in order to create the stability so the economy can work. So in this case, we need both. We cannot say, oh, we don't have capacity, or some countries are overtaking others. No, that should not be the case. I don't want to put those countries that you mentioned as last in line, or them leapfrogging the countries of the Western Balkans. That is both wrong. We should have the capacity to deal with both at the same time.